Welcome to the Minds of Yachtllywood, the podcast. Here we will uncover the stories behind the yachting industry.
40 yachts, 40 yachts. Focus point is the lifestyle on board. You're speaking about something extraordinary. The secret is to balance them from... This is rule number one in Studio Vafiadis. So the perfect yacht I have in mind is like calò che agatia, beautiful and good at the same time.
I'm Sophianna Bergonzi, your host, and now let's dive into the conversation. But first, take a little second and hit the subscribe button. Welcome again to the Minds of Yachtllywood. And today I'm with Stefano Vafiadis, super yacht designer, amazing designs. Stefano, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sophianna, for this kind invitation. It is really a pleasure.
Thank you. And your story in the industry is really fascinating because you were born surrounded by yacht design with your father. Tell me, how was that experience growing up like that?
Definitely. I was really born into the yacht design. My father, who is actually also a famous yacht designer, he started the company in 1980. So we're speaking about 45 years ago. And since then, we completed more than 40 yachts, 40 yachts. So the history of the studio is important. When I was a kid, he brought me to all the best shipyards in Italy and also abroad. I remember going in Sarzana, in Fano, Ancona, all these beautiful places. I was like 5 years old, 4 years old. As soon as I walked into shipyards. So he was speaking with clients, and in the meantime, I was designing my first yachts, boats, cars, cruising ships. I was in love also with cruising ships. And then some of these drawings, they are still in these shipyards. I've been in one of these a few years ago, and they show me, we kept your drawing. Yeah, because it was that day I was inspired, and it was a nice drawing. So it was nice to see back my old one of the first yacht designed. And then this is how I started my career in the yacht industry.
Your life, basically.
Yeah. And then also I went to the studio since I was a kid. I remember first time I used a software, a very important software that nowadays everybody uses to draw. There was no mouse. So we were actually using something called the Lisp, like some tablets with a pen, and this was the interface of the software. You were pressing actually the commands. There were buttons on this tablet. Very interesting.
So you think you always knew you would be a yacht designer?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I knew it was my career, for sure.
So you feel it in your veins. It's not something you have acquired, but you...
No, yeah. I cannot see anything else apart yacht design in my future and my careers.
And how was your education for yacht design? Did you follow your father's mentoring, or what path did you take?
Well, first of all, I have been in most beautiful shipyards since I was a kid, as I said. Then, second, also very important, I went to very good high school in Rome, very famous. And it was also a very important part of my education. Then I had been in architecture school and then master degree in architectural design, which is even more focused. After the master degree, I had been in London for 6 months in an important residential interior design architectural firm. And then I went back to my own company because I felt I was not investing my energy in something long term. So I felt I had to go back home. I went back in the studio, I started working, and I have to say that is the real education, university, speaking, dealing with clients, listening clients, listening the story of clients, meeting shipyards, being involved in the yacht industry, real practice. I am a very practical guy, very full of pragmatism, and I think the best school is to make things.
How has it been like being the son of your father? Like, how do you feel it has made things go faster for you in your career?
Yeah, for sure. It was a big help, I have to say. I also worked very hard because I remember first 5-6 years, I was working from 9:30 in the morning until late night, 2-3 crazy working hours, really.
Maybe it's like it's a lot of push, a lot of pressure to do things faster, and a lot of help at the same time. So it's like you need to go, go, go. And what age you were when your first design was actually launched, built?
I was very young. I had the chance to win a very important award that is called the Young Designer of the Year while I was 25. So we're speaking 11 years ago. Sounds like yesterday to me, but many years passed. So I won this award exactly 6 months after I started working in the studio, and it was a great success. So let's say I entered from the front door in the yacht industry. Also because I participated to this award not with my name, but with my mother's name, not to be recognized and to be completely independent from my father's identity, let's say. Then, after this award, I made many concepts for many shipyards. After these 1-2 years of concept, I designed my first actually floating yacht, which is now called the 133 Dom for Baglietto Shipyard. Very successful design. It was 2017.
Okay.
I started in 2012, so after 3-4 years. And then this design was sold very rapidly. The CEO of the shipyard believed in the project a lot, so he pushed a lot the project, and this is fundamental also. I have to thank him a lot. And this person is De Prati, Michele De Prati. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that this was fundamental. Then after this, I worked with Rossinavi. With Rossinavi, also many other shipyards, with Columbus Yachts, Mondo Marine at the time. Then with Golden Yachts also I designed and built lots of important yachts from 95 meters to Orea 77 meters that was sold and now it is called Malia. It's a very beautiful yacht. And then also I designed also for Golden Yachts, for Other important shipyards, let's say most of the shipyards we know, yeah.
I guess you being so young, you understand the preferences in design that the new generation are looking for.
Yeah, definitely,
What are the trends that you see now that new generation are wanting on a yacht?
Well, it is very important for the new generation to have dynamism on board and less formalism. So spaces on board are no more so rigid as they were, like main salon, dining, upper salon, lower deck, cabins. Everything is more, I wouldn't say mixed up, but more free from this etiquette that we had on board on yachts. So maybe they want transformable spaces, like verandas, beach clubs. They want dining that can be open up, surrounded by glass. Galley is important also to ensure a very good service, but it can also be open, so we can also have openable galleries nowadays, like backup kitchen, so a professional galley, and then a show cooking galley to cook with friends. I know owners who like to cook for their friends, or also wellness is very important on board. So many times I have the request to design a proper gym, not a gym that you have on board to fill up the papers and the specification and say, well, there is a gym. No, a real gym with real equipments, with involved maybe a technician, a very good personal trainer who tell us the exact exercises, so something consistent with resin floor, proper floor. So spaces on board are no more a show-off. They are more real life, real lifestyle. And I think this is thanks to the social media. Because I'm not saying that all of the owners are posting on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok their own daily life, but there are some owners that post, influencers, I don't know, some kind of owner post, and thanks to social media, also your activity, what you're doing, which is marvelous, nowadays we know more than in the past, where yachts were more mysterious, what's happening on board. So the main focus point is passing from look what I have, look how many marble I have, look how many beautiful tropical wood I have, to not only this is still present. Of course, a yacht has to be top of the luxury level. But also, another focus point is the lifestyle on board.
Look what I'm doing.
So, yeah, exactly. Look what I'm doing, not look what I can do with my yacht. Look how many toys I can carry, how many fun I can have, look my lifestyle, how much is superior to the average. Because of course, if we are speaking about yachts, we are speaking about something extraordinary, above the ordinary, above the average.
And this level of customization, do you think at the moment of, it can be limiting at the moment of selling the yacht, or at some point it will like go out of style, you know? For example, you were giving me the example of the gym. So I built this super steady gym, but it's not everybody's passion.
No, yeah, in fact, passions are passions and every owner is different. We cannot make a general rule, but we can make a general trend. And the general trend is wellness on board, and is not just about eating or staying in one place, but is about traveling, explore, learn. Culture also is important. There are many yachts now that carry important artistic pieces, or that they are becoming sort of galleries by themselves. And so art is very important, culture, discovering new places, exploration. So these are very important new beautiful elements that a new openness in mind are bringing into the yacht industry. So yachts are no more just cigars and these kind of things, but it is also an active, dynamic lifestyle, which is very beautiful, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Also, the sea now as a central focus point, because one time when I started working in the yacht industry, engineers, everybody was afraid of making big openings, big windows, big portholes, big folding platforms, which then the market requested, the young client requested. So they were in their beautiful villas with the marvelous glazings, and they were wondering why on yachts glasses, windows, they were so small. I remember when I started in 2010, 11, when I was a kid, glasses, they were starting at the height of bulwark, so 110 centimeters. It was unacceptable for new young clients. So also the rules changed, also the classification society, we can see at the PYC code that came out in 2014. Also the changing in rules changed the shape of yachts that now are more transparent, more open to the water. And for example, the aft nowadays is conceived like a stairway slowly declining into the water. So it's like a very gentle access into the water, which is beautiful in my opinion. It's a very beautiful poetic view, metaphor. And pools. So now you see owners playing with toys around, and they're happy like kids. Yeah. At the end, a yacht is a big toy.
Yeah. Those open spaces that you're mentioning, so much use of glass and these multifunctional spaces, what kind of challenges they bring at the moment of the structure of the yacht, and also in the building itself, having those huge glass panels?
Actually, they are a big challenge from an economical point of view, first of all, because they are all very expensive equipments. So you cannot have it all. You cannot have 10 folding platforms for economical aspect, but also for a technical aspect, because they are a weakness inside the structure of a yacht, of course. So the secret is to strategically place those amazing elements, because these things are amazing. Folding platforms, transformers diving into the water, sliding windows. The secret is to balance them from day one, from scratch, from the beginning, and to study a well, carefully developed platform, engineering platform, hull, that can carry all these beautiful things. If you implement these things in the middle of the way, or when the design is already developed, it's impossible. So from day one you have to think and to understand the willings, the desire, lifestyle of the owner, and then place these beautiful gifts of technology in a strategical way inside the boat. But in my opinion, the most important parts are the aft and forward part. Because today it is very important to make an easy and accessible yacht to use for the owner. So, when you arrive to a place, for example, the best, in my opinion, is that the owner goes in the aft with beautiful folding platforms, transformer, toys, pools, lounges, while in the forward area we have a garage with other folding platforms going up, and while the owner is entertained with the sea, they can operate with the tender, do their operation, take 1 hour, 1 hour and a half to carefully and slowly and with safety, which is also a very important manner, carry out, disembark the tender. So in my opinion, this is the triumph today of yacht design and yacht planning. So most of the times my projects, they go in this direction, if I can, if there are the conditions. Otherwise, these are always the principles: safety and strategic design, fun, less formal yachts, new layouts but smart, not layouts that create problems, but kind of layouts that solve problems, which is very important. And also it's very important not to mix crew activities and guest activities. They have to be in a certain way separated.
And I'm curious, how does it work, the dynamics between the owner, the designer, and the shipyard? Because at the end, you are in the middle position that you need to translate maybe sometimes the crazy ideas of the owner and make it doable for the shipyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does it work? Do you have moments where you need to explain the owner, "Oh, this is not possible," or like the shipyard, like you really need to figure out how to do it?
No, I have to say that being involved with such big projects, so from 35 meters above, usually my owners are always very experienced and very wise. So usually I don't have this problem because they already had 4 or 5 yachts before. But they can came up with silly ideas, or not, I wouldn't say silly, but not commercial friendly ideas. Okay, because most of the yachts today, they do charter, and then also the resale value, it is very important. The yachts are assets, so they have to maintain also the value in time, and for the ethics of Studio Vafiadis, this is very important. We are not designing yachts beautiful today. Yeah, look, the beach club, how big it is, how many platforms, wow effect. We are designing timeless yachts. This is rule number 1 in Studio Vafiadis. So we try to foresee and to make also the interest of the client, not just our own, by advising him when he is making anti-counter commercial choices. So things that can probably destroy the value of the yacht. In this case, my advice is important, and I say to the client what I think. Then he decides. Of course, I do semi-custom and custom projects, so Also, the desires of the owners have to be very carefully listened, and they listen a lot to the client. First thing is to listen. Then, after you listened, you digested, metabolized, thought, counted 100 seconds, I speak. Because it is very important to listen what the clients have to say. Then I also add that many times clients they have wonderful inputs.
Yeah, definitely.
So most of the times I received interesting things from clients more than silly, impossible things. So they keep also pushing. They're also challenging for designers. And it's very nice. I have to say that also clients are designing the yachts with their own desire, visions. And when you find a very good client, to me is a plus. A very good client, I mean a client with a good taste, with a beautiful lifestyle, maybe a beautiful family, and I'm really happy to serve him and to make his yacht, and he is the added value of the project, because we are not designing for mass or for a market, and this is our great privilege in yacht design today. If you see, the trend of all industries is to design bespoke things. For example, also in the car industry, the tendency is to make, especially in very fancy sports cars, is to make more and more bespoke projects. Everyone is looking to make bespoke projects, because today making bespoke projects is top of the top, and everybody is looking for that. Is the real luxury. What is luxury is a very difficult question. For sure, making a bespoke project, like a bespoke dress, a tailor-made dress, is the ultimate luxury. So we are so lucky as designer to work in the top of the top industry, top of the top challenge, which is to make a beautiful tailor design, and we cannot miss this chance.
I remember when I started in yachting, I had the mentor, and he was just told me this thing that shocked me. He said, imagine, you need to make it beautiful, but at the same time, you need to make it light, so it's efficient. At the same time, you need to make wonders with the GA, and you need to make it safe. So can you imagine all the thought and engineering that is...
Yeah, definitely.
And how are you using technology today to improve your designs?
Technology is fundamental. From how we design the yachts with computer graphics softwares, and also renderings, virtual reality, presentation to the clients. From that stage, technology is very important. Then when we go on the physical, on the reality, also, technology is fundamental, and technology changed completely the shape of yachts in last 20-30 years. Yachts today are longer, they have more volume, they are stiffer, more resistant in the structures, more openable, bigger glasses. For sure, better engineering and better materials of constructions, new kind of glasses, steel work, metal work, aluminum, GRP, all the advance that we made in the structural design too, they brought us to a point that was not even believable 20 years ago. If we see a yacht today, I imagine how an engineer 30 years ago could imagine we went this far. Really, it's difficult, I think, to predict even the future today. And this, in my opinion, we have to thank two things. Of course, the technological progress, but especially the computer simulations, because nowadays we don't make a yacht without any simulation, so we know exactly how the structure will react to the forces of the sea and the forces of gravity, the forces, I mean, physical forces involved in yacht's life. And this is fundamental, so we can push the limits and the boundaries of yacht design up to the most farthest limit. So technology, I have to say, is a big help to our job. And technology, practice together, also experience is very important, because if you have a simulation without the experience to understand also the different parameters involved and to predict and also to see where the machine is not right, because you can data analysis is something very interesting and very important. Machines give us millions of data, but man, most important and central part of the word thing, has to read this data. Now there is big data, this is a very controversial and contemporary chat argument.
That's already artificial intelligence at that point, right?
Also, yeah, it's part.
Do you use AI when you are designing?
Artificial intelligence is also part of this discourse, because it's a very powerful tool, but I don't see artificial intelligence like, for example, also analysis of computer replacing the human mind, of course, because we have consciousness, which machines doesn't, and of course this is the greatest thing that man have. So we can decide, we have the freedom to decide, and machines not. So of course, apart that, technology helped a lot developing yachts. Now yachts are more transparent, closer to the water. They have unimaging things, efficiency, more range than in the past. Also a very important discourse, a very important aspect today of yachts is the energetic transition. So from diesel propulsion, gas propulsion, petroleum propulsion into the future, which will be electricity, hydrogen, methanol, all this kind of new e-fuels and new power sources. Because of course also sustainability and range, they're very important.
Yeah, that was the next point I wanted to touch.
Okay, we are reading each other's mind.
Yeah. So talk to me about sustainability and how the new generation owners are choosing sustainable materials, sustainable solutions for the fuel. What's happening there?
Well, I think freedom is the most important element in life and on yachts. So imagine a yacht that has never the requirement to berth or to dock. Imagine a yacht that is completely independent from any plug, any electrical. This is possible maybe with a very futuristic yacht. I'm imagining a yacht in 2050 or 60, so very far moment in history. And this yacht maybe has solar panels, eolic generator of power, maybe has I don't know, a hybrid electrical propulsion. It creates hydrogen directly from the water, so the refueling of the yacht is like a continuous cycle, and she doesn't yachts are female, no, of course. So
They're beautiful.
yeah, they're beautiful, gentle, and necessary to humankind. So they are women, absolutely, and also very fascinating. So she doesn't need to be refueled, for example. And this is my dream, a yacht that is completely independent from everything, from every marina, from ground, basically, because yachts are made to travel. So the perfect yacht I have in mind is like an island. It's like an archipelagus, an island with a beamy hull, large, comfortable hull, independent from any source of energy, that can create continuously his own energy and his own life on board, but with no compromise, because no one wants to go on a yacht making compromises. I have to say, I said listening is rule number one. If I didn't say that listening was rule number one, this would be also rule number one, because on board there are no compromise allowed. So this independent yacht has to run a very luxurious lifestyle on board. Air conditioning, televisions, club, disco, sound system, wellness, spa, gym, whatever comes into your mind. And then, of course, also having an infinite range is a very fascinating dream. So imagine I want to go to Terra del Fuego tomorrow. I press a button, start the engines, and they start going. Also stability, comfort at the top level. And then these yachts of my dreams has lots of glass. So also the study of glass is very important nowadays. But we're speaking about sustainability, right?
I like what you're talking about. This.
I am a little bit drifting.
Does she have a name?
This yacht?
Yes.
I don't know. We can call it Terra.
Terra.
Earth. Yeah.
Tierra in Spanish.
Tierra, yeah. Because
actually, it's a project that you are working on yourself, and
no, not at. Maybe from today we start working in this project.
We're talking. You said 2050.
Terra, because not because I want to avoid sea, but because sea is much more present on the planet than actual ground. So the surface of sea is much bigger, and with climate change will increase the size of sea. So we will need more terra in the future, and terra will become maybe a luxury, a very high luxury, with the increased height of the sea. So maybe terra will be the ultimate luxury in 2060 and
2050. Talking to me about terra.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like Venice. Venice was taken from the sea, so maybe the same concept can be our yacht, our new yacht. Yeah.
I like that one. I think that.
Or maybe she can be called Sophianna.
Sophianna.
Why not?
Miss Yacht. Okay, so now let's go back to sustainability.
Yeah.
Talk to me about sustainability. How the let's say materials, sustainable materials, how new generation owners are seeking for those.
They're seeking a lot. Yeah, I have many requests of sustainable materials on board, and it's very interesting actually. Yeah, it's a very beautiful design to put sustainable materials, also because they're more beautiful.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I have a very deep aesthetical sense, and I really believe in what Greeks. I am also Greek. I am half Italian and half Greek, so also my Greek roots are very important to me. What is beautiful is also good. This is called in Greek philosophy καλό και agatia, beautiful and good at the same time. So all these sustainable materials are also very good looking. Natural wood, natural tinted wood, trying to avoid any resin, any plastic derived element on board, using natural materials, less plastic, for example, or less worked materials and post-produced materials. So all these things are very interesting, and leathers, fabrics, using natural materials, not artificial. This is the main point. There are many of new interesting, from algae, from the sea. There are many things that can replace the materials we are using today, that are polluting and creating also pollution. But something very important that I don't see being taken into consideration is not just the final product, but also the process of construction is very important. So also when I'm building a yacht, I am consuming the energy of the yacht at least of 10 years. Okay. So building a new yacht is actually very energy consuming. So how I build this yacht is also very important, at least as the final product. So we have to focus on the product and on the method how we are building the yacht. For example, in Baietto, they installed solar panels and an hydrogen station also, so they are creating hydrogen from the electrolysis of the shipyard, and they are building yachts also in a sustainable way. So this is very beautiful and wise, in my opinion. It's a very deep thought, not just the pollution of the yacht itself, but the process.
So it's very nice because at the end is the technological advances that are bringing us back to our origins of nature and in sync with earth and everything. You being a young designer, what would be your advice for those designers who are seeking to develop a career like yours in yachting?
Very interesting question. Well, today it's not easy to become a yacht designer because there are many good yacht designers and there is lots of competition. But I'm happy for this competition because the quality, the general quality of design is increasing year by year. So really long life to this competition. But it's not easy. It also takes time, requires time to become an established designer. So my suggestion to young designer is to be patient and humble. I know it's not easy. I know we all want to design the next iconic yacht, but has to be done also this in a sustainable way. Then no compromises, because many times people, they can take advantage of young designers. they take advantage, so maybe they can underpay or push the timing, making young designer working like crazy for crazy hours. I'm not saying, of course, we don't have to work. I'm saying we have to work a lot, but in a good way, in a sustainable way. And then also it's very important to explore new possibilities, to invest a lot in research, to think out of the box, to think from different perspectives. And my final suggestion is that if today we make round shapes, make sharp shapes. If we make sharp shapes, make round. Go counterflow, like salmons. We have to be like salmons. You know, salmons, they go counterflow. They go in the opposite direction. So more than great white sharks, very aggressive, eating everything in the sea, we have to be like salmons, going in the counter direction, because also looking, seeking new things is very important. And we have to understand also the market. We have to design yachts, not for tomorrow, especially young designer, but for a range of time that is 5 or 6 years. So very
I will take that advice for myself as well. Stefano,
I hope it was a good advice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. And we can't wait to see what's coming up.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for this great opportunity and great chat. It was really a pleasure being also in your company. So thank you. Thank you, Sophianna.
Thanks for joining us today in the Minds of Yachtllywood, the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting episodes with incredible guests. Until next time.